Hi, today I'm going to walk through how to deploy a remote MCP server using noBGP. So first I'm going to ask Claude to install a MCP server that I have in GitHub and deploy it to an existing node. If you are new here, there are videos on how to deploy nodes, install agents, and get started with noBGP. But this is basically a follow-on to our other videos, like how to install and run A8N on and deploy that with noBGP. So lots of MCP servers run locally on your computer using standard I/O. What we're doing here is basically installing an HTTP version of an MCP server, which I've vibe coded, from just previously for other demos that we've done, and I'm going to deploy that. This way you can run your MCP server remotely and connect to it from wherever you are instead of only being able to run it, wherever your local MCP server is running. Once it's up and running, we're going to create a public URL so I can access the MCP server remotely. And then I'm going to show you just how, simple it is to connect Claude in my case, but whatever MCP server, whatever LLM you want to connect to your MCP server. So that'll be the steps we're going to go through. While this is installing, because it's got to install Python, a lot of dependencies to Python for this MCP server. Just a couple kind of tips and things that I can share. A lot of, like I said, MCP servers are written for local deployment with standard I/O. You can deploy the standard I/O version to your remote compute node and then just basically ask Claude to use Super Gateway, which is an MCP wrapper, which converts your standard I/O MCP server into an HTTP MCP server. So if you run into those cases where you just have a standard I/O MCP server, just wrap it with Super Gateway and you'll be good to go. I'll put the link to Super Gateway's GitHub in the description. But that's one thing, that's easy. So it's a good place to start for local servers that you want to make remote. Okay. So it's finally finished. So basically now I'm going to say create a public URL to access the MCP server. Okay, so it's created my public URL. So I'm going to go and add this. Okay, so now I'm going to go and add this to my custom connector list within Claude. I'm going to call it Broken Link MCP. Here's the server. Add the SSE part. Okay, so the good thing about using Claude as your deployment tool is Claude can help debug any issues you're having. Funny thing with Claude is you ask it to do the same task and it finds so many different ways to do it. So I know this process works. But in this instance, it has chose a path that has gotten itself into trouble now. And now let's see if it can figure itself out. Okay, so Claude thinks it's done, it's updated. Okay, so now it thinks it's found the problem. So I should just be able to connect to the same link, and it should work. And yes, now we have the Broken Link MCP connected. So now we can go back, use the Broken Link MCP to find any broken links in the web page. I will give it the noBGP web page because I know what those answers should be. The broken link checker MCP will actually do entire domains, but it takes a long time. So I'm just asking it to do one page. And this is gonna, -1 is bad. -1 wants to do the whole domain. And there are hundreds and hundreds of pages I don't want it to do. Use the broken link MCP to test a single URL. Broken links. HTTPS. Okay, let's see if this command works. Okay, so this is better. Without the -1, it's just going to check a single page. This should be real much quicker. So it's going to go through, check the page, and return, if it did its job, 2 font values. And there we have it. 2 links that return failed. So basically that's how you can set up an MCP server, deploy with noBGP on your compute nodes that have the noBGP agent. That is a requirement. And then, yeah, you can run those MCP servers or access those MCP servers from pretty much anywhere. So that's basically the summary. It's really no different than N8N or any of the application videos that we've published here. The process is pretty much the same. Okay. Thanks for watching, and let us know what MCP servers you've connected with noBGP.